Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I am using the Thorned Greatsword, which you get from the Soul of the Mirror Knight. Now this weapon is one that I had a really good time with. I really like the R2s on this thing, and it's just a very enjoyable weapon to use. So getting started, this weapon requires 20 strength and 15 dexterity to wield, along with 14 faith. It has a C scaling in strength, a C scaling in dexterity, as well as a C scaling in faith. The physical base damage of the weapon is 210, the lightning base damage is 80, and for me on my build, the attack rating of this weapon is 473 with a Ring of Blades plus 2, so that is a 443 with that one. The counter strength of the weapon is 110. The poise damage is 35 per hit, and the weight is 8 units. Now, this weapon is, as I said, one that I really enjoyed using. These R2s are very satisfying to hit with, and the delay that they have to them is very good for people who are trying to parry. Well, since it's a delayed attack, it's not exactly what they expect, and then you can actually hit them with the sword and the lightning that comes out at the same time to deal a significant amount of damage. I mean, in that last fight I hit right around, what was it, 700? Yeah, it's not something that you kind of want to mess with. It's something you really should kind of avoid, to be perfectly honest. One thing about those R2s, the damage on them, well, it's only good if you hit with both the lightning and the sword. If you just hit with the lightning, you're only going to be dealing about 200 damage. It's something, it's not gonna, deal a massive amount of damage, but it's still something. So, it's not really a huge deal, but something to keep in mind, You can't go relying on it to nearly one-shot your opponent. It's not gonna do that for you. The biggest pro of this weapon, I would definitely have to say, would be that R2. I really like it. When you hit with both, it's great. You can use it to chase people down. It moves relatively fast once you get the attack off, and it's just really, really helpful in a lot of cases. You can just hit someone across the arena that you're fighting in. You could just hit someone from really far away. That's really all it is. They might not necessarily expect it if they're not familiar with the weapon, and that's enough to take advantage of it sometimes. Other than that, you don't really want to be using it if you get a parry. As you can see, it didn't really do too terribly much. I would have been better off going with the riposte. I wanted to get like a nice, stylish kill on the guy, but didn't really work out in my favor. Doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter. Still got the kill. It was all good. Other pros of the weapon, I mean, you've got your typical greatsword pros, the typical greatsword moveset, which is always a really good thing. Decent damage behind it. It's not the most damaging weapon for a faith build, but it still is really good and something you wouldn't want to mess with. So that's something you should keep in mind. Overall, it's just a really good weapon. It's got all of the greatsword pros, all of the ability to stun. Don't know why that was so difficult to say right then. It's got all of the greatsword pros, all of the ability to stun, decent damage behind it. And also, this weapon can in fact be buffed, so that's something you can keep in mind. Throw on a lightning pine resin, throw on sunlight blade, and you really have a force to be reckoned with this weapon. So that's definitely something you should keep in mind. Anyway, the cons of the weapon, as I said, the R2, the damage when you only hit with the lightning, it's not fantastic, but it's still something, so it's not really a huge con. Other cons of the weapon, I would say, the fact that it has it's got the greatsword moveset where your rolling attacks when two-handed are an overhead slash, the overhead vertical slash. That can get you into trouble at some points. I've just barely missed people because of that, and you've seen it quite a few times in this video alone. It's a little bit sad how close the attacks are sometimes, and that they still just manage to miss. So it is what it is with that, I guess. Other cons of the weapon, I would have to say the fact that it's was I saying? It's, well, I know some people, myself included, with a lot of weapons, they don't care for the, well, with a lot of greatswords, that is, they don't care for the two-handed moveset where it does the flip around guard. I know some people would consider that to be a con. Honestly, my mood with that, my feelings on that, they go back and forth. It's a decent moveset, but it can get you into trouble, and I don't know. That one, it's up to the individual to decide whether they consider that a pro or a con. I know I miss quite a few attacks because of it, and then that little fight right there, that last fight right there, I love the bell that goes off. I really like that fight. I really like it. But anyway, this is actually the last fight right here. I hope you found the video helpful in one way or another. Please like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.